Hello, lovies, and welcome to this week's episode of Here With Me with your host, your girl, L.Marie. So nice of you to come and join us this week for this first episode. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about sacrifice. And this is something that we've been talking about on our social media outlets. And I told y'all I would come and dive deeper into the statement of what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want. So a lot of times when we talk about sacrifice, we think about I know for me, because I'm a church girl and I grew up in the church, and we talked about sacrifices and we talked about the Old Testament in the Bible, and they sacrificed a lot. So when they went to sacrifice, it was kill and burn. So that's how they sacrifice, right? So that's where my mental picture goes to, where when I ask the question of myself, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing, L.Marie, to kill and burn to gain something greater? Because whenever we sacrifice, we always want to gain something greater, whether it's a better sense of who we are, whether it's our goals, achieving our goals, financially, spiritually, emotionally. We always want to be able to be okay with the sacrifice. And then it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because you have the choice to sacrifice, number one, and then you have the choice, number two, of what you want to sacrifice, right? So we don't want to sacrifice the things that are aiding us, the things that are helping us, the things that are getting us to the place where we want to be. We don't want to sacrifice those things, right? We don't want to give up a car to start a delivery service, right? It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. And sometimes our sacrifices don't make sense. And those are the huge ones. Those are the faith. I'm gonna repeat again, faith, sacrificial things, the things that God is telling you to let go of. And sometimes those things that don't make sense. But when we're thinking about what we're wanting to give up to go to the next level in life, we have to make it make sense. Unless God is instructing you to sacrifice something, make it make sense, lovey. Make it make sense. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, 2 plus 2 is not 5.5. 2 plus 2 is 4. So we have to make things make sense. So first of all, for you to be able to say, what am I willing to give up? You first have to identify and really strategically put into detail what you want. What is your desire? And your desire is deeper to me than what I want. My desire is an innate feeling that I have in the core of who I am. Those are my desires. My desires are what makes me alive inside. My desires are those things that make me excited when I think about them. My desires are those things that I feel like keep me going. They keep me pushing. They keep me wanting to go further. They keep me on that mission of, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. And most of the times I'll know my desires from my wants, because my desires have nothing to do with me. The things that I desire are for others, are to serve others better, are to give more, are to give of myself more. I may desire some vacation time or some alone time or some downtime, but it's because there's something inside of me that I need quiet for. I need a reset for. The ocean is my place of thinking. Now, I ain't saying that I'm not thinking when I'm not near the ocean, but that is my mega place of thinking. That is the place that really churns those thoughts. Those are the places that when I'm by the ocean, when I hear it, when I smell it, when I see it, those places, it's the water. It's the water. Okay, so as I'm talking, I'm getting this revelation of the water, because when I have a lot of my greatest ideas come in the shower, which is a source of water. A lot of my great ideas, my mega big ideas, come from when I'm in the ocean, which is water. I don't know, I'm going to piece that together later, but we're going to put a pin in that. So water is it for me. Water is my thinking place, my thinking environment. It's where things become very crystal clear and things start connecting together. So I know if I desire a vacation, is It's so that I can be renewed and reset. It's so that my thoughts can start coming together. It's so that I can make it to not even my next chapter in my book, but in the book of life, but the next series, right? So the next chapter I can get to sitting at my desk, typing, listening to some lo-fi YouTube video or something, and getting those thoughts, jogging those thoughts, and really piecing things together. But when it comes to the next series, right? So for me, for my birthday, I declared to myself that I was going to take a vacation, and I vacation near water. Wherever I go, I like to be near water. So I said I was going to take a vacation every birthday. Yeah, no. Since I said that, I haven't been able to, because that's when COVID hit. Like, COVID hit right after my birthday. Like, it became like a thing. Or no, not right after. We didn't really know what was going on. And then that September, I was able to go. I don't know how that worked, but I know I said that September I was at the in South Carolina. I was at Charleston. I was at the islands. I stayed at the islands. I visited Charleston. And so that's when I said, every birthday I'm going to go take a vacation. And that was a desire. It's still a desire. It hasn't came to fruition just because of life and the things that has been happening, but it's still a burning desire to do that, so that I can reset, so I can renew, so that I can see what's happening in the year to come, right? So whenever I think of a desire, it doesn't go away. It's like that candle that you can't blow out, like that trick candle. So it's more than a want for me. A want for me, right now, a want for me is extensions in my hair. That's a want, because I'm tired of doing my hair. I'm tired of really thinking about it. Now, I pulled out old trusty today for you guys, so y'all wouldn't see the real deal, what was going on in my hair. But yeah, it's a source of stress, so I want to eliminate that, and I want to get some new extensions. That's my want. I want to be able to order from Amazon, because I haven't had a package on my porch for a while. It's some things that I want. I really want to get some capsules so I can make me some herbal pills, because I can't drink herbs because they're nasty to me. So I want to make some herbal pills. So these are my wants, right? Nobody's going to die if I don't get hair extensions. No, my purpose is not going to be stopped because I can't get the capsules right away. I still have capsules. I just want to order some more because they're like going down. And honestly, I haven't been taking my pills regularly, except for at night. So all my herbal pills, well, most of my herbal pills I haven't been taking. So nobody's going to perish. My purpose is not going to dry up. Nothing is going to be hindered if I don't get my wants. But if I don't fight for those desires, something may be triggered. Something may be overlooked. Something may be dismissed. Something may be paused. If I don't get the desires of my heart. That's why the Bible tells us we can get the desires of our heart, because most of the time those desires are coming from God. They are coming from what He placed in us and how He created us to be. And that's why we have those desires. Like, why do I want that so bad? And it's the missing puzzle piece sometimes to our next step in life. So we have those desires, but what are you willing to give up to get those desires? If I really wanted to vacation every year, at this point in my life, the way my budget looks, I would not have anything to spend on anything except vacation funds. So I would have to sacrifice going out to eat. I would have to sacrifice the little things that I like to pick up while I'm at Hobby Lobby, or when I'm at the Dollar Tree. Those are my favorite stores. So the little knick-knack things I wouldn't be able to do or pick up. I wouldn't be able to get extensions for a while, because every cent, every dollar would need to go into a vacation fund. That is what I am killing and burning. So when I'm killing frivolous, burning frivolous, right? So when you kill and burn, it's no longer there. It's ashes. Whenever they used to burn, whenever you burn stuff, don't go try it out. Just take my word for it or watch a YouTube video or something. Whenever you burn stuff, it becomes ashes. So it's no longer the form, right? It's no longer the form of what you had. So it's no longer there. It's no longer there to serve you. It's no longer there to distract you. It's no longer there for it to even be an option anymore. That's the key. Whenever you sacrifice something, you're killing and burning it. So it's not an option anymore. It's not an option anymore. I wish, in just saying that and just thinking about that, I wish I could kill and burn my sugar cravings. It's going to be a sacrifice, y'all, because I like South Batch cookies. I really do. And I like drinking coffee now. And the coffee has sugar, lots of it. It's super sweet because that's how I like my coffee. But if I could kill and burn the sugar cravings, which I can't do, it would no longer be an option. Whenever I went keto, I did not do sugar. I did not do carbs, that sort of thing. I wasn't big on like getting into ketosis and all the numbers and fingerprint, all that. I didn't do all that. All I said was, all my nutritionist said was stay away from sugars and carbs, low carbs, not no carbs, just low carbs. So maybe not total keto, but that's what I put my mind into. Anywho, I was able to detox my body and I was okay with not eating sugar. I was okay with not eating sweets like I've been used to. So I substituted sugar for dates. So I killed and burned sugar for the time being. And then I replaced it with dates. So that was my sweetener. That's what gave me the sweetness, the honey, the dates, all of those things. It was the sweetener for me. So sugar was not an option anymore. My body didn't even want it. It didn't even crave it. I didn't even want the cookies anymore. I didn't even want the pie. I didn't even want the desserts. All I wanted was vegetables. I started liking vegetables. I like smoothies. And I maybe ate a fruit or two, But you have to ask yourself, what are your desires? What are they? And since this is, you're healing with me, so I'm taking this journey with me, or you taking this journey with me, or I'm taking the journey with you into healing, whatever the case may be, we're doing this together. So one of my desires is to be able to, let's think about it, to be able to run my business, to be able to really focus in on what I'm supposed to be doing, to really hear the instructions from God, and to really be able to implement those in real time, and be able to have something tangible, right? So I've been working on that. What have I sacrificed? What have I killed and burned and able to fulfill those desires, or that goal of hearing? My will. And I know we went deep and we went deep fast, but I can give you other examples, but this is the one that I am dealing with right now. I have sacrificed, I have killed and burned the will that I had for myself, for my life. So it's no longer what I want. It's no longer what I see. It's no longer what how much money I want to make. It's no longer about how I want to present myself to the world. Now it's more of, God, what did you create me for? I know my purpose. I see it. Let me complete my assignments the way that you want me to complete them. And let me do the things that you want me to do in your timing. So I am killing my will and exchanging it for God's. Is it difficult? Heck yeah, it's difficult. I had control issues. all of 22, God was breaking me, because if this is your desire, God, and you partner up with God, and that's what God wants for you as well, He will allow you, He will put you in test to see if you can handle, to see if you can handle it. He will cut things away from you because they're not serving you anymore. They're weighing you down. He will allow you. And the thing is like, he's not doing it himself. He's presenting it. He's presenting it to you, and you have to make that choice, right? So in 2022, it was like, geesh, I thought I was in control for so many years. When I was young, I felt like I had to be in control over my things, right? And it was never a control over anybody else. It was all about my things, my life, my career, what I wanted to do. I felt like I had control over that. And in my come to Jesus meetings, I had so many in 2022, because my attitude, like, I was frustrated. I was upset. Everything. And I told God, I said, every time I partner with you and I give you access, don't that just sound stupid? Don't that just sound stupid? But it's true. Every time I give God access, because he's a gentleman. He's not coming to force himself on you. It's the choice that you have to make. So I told God, every time I give you access, every time we get close, every time our relationship builds, you take something from me. That was my perception. That was my perception. And I can go back 2008. I thought I had the seemingly American dream. In 2008, this was the American dream. It was the car, the house, the corporate job. That I had all of that. And I had a half a dog. My baby had issues, so she was a little scroungy, and she had some health issues, but I loved her all the same. So I had the house, I had the car, I had the uptown job, and I was doing it on my own. And I was so proud of that. And that pride built to something negative. So you can be proud of yourself. I want you to be proud of yourself. I want you to say, hey, I actually obeyed. Hey, I actually did what God wanted me to do. And I'm proud of that. And this is what happened. And because of my choices, because of my obedience, because of my trust, this is what happened. And I'm so proud of that. But you have to understand the perception that I was taking, or the way that I was saying it, was like, I built this career. I didn't need no help. I did it by myself. I don't need nobody. Even in my prayers, it was more like, me and God talked about who he was, that sort of thing. But it was never about me. It was always about somebody else, because I felt like I was okay. So God, you can help somebody else. It's never either or with God. He is a omnipresent God. He can be in everybody's life at the same time. Everybody that wants him there, he can be there at the same time. And I was like, go help them, because I'm good. These checks are rolling in, this house, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath by myself, with a mortgage of only $735. Like, that's unheard of right now. That's unheard of right now. I worked in the banking industry. It was my first time home buyer. So I got into all of the things. I got all of the incentives, all of the benefits. So I was like, heck yeah. I was on cloud 75. You hear me? And God tested me. I don't want to say that I was punished. I don't want to say that I was knocked down, because everything is a choice. I don't want to say that. I want to say that God tested me. God showed me, because I told God, whatever you want, I'm gonna do. And he was like, for real, for real? And I was like, yeah, for real. So he was like, all right, go back and live with your parents. I was like, except for that. Anything except for that. I'm not leaving my house. I'm not leaving my job. I'm not leaving the church I was in. So anything except for that, anything except for all those things that I named. And he was like, no, you said, but you said. And he will always remember. He will always remind you of things. But you said that you would do whatever I asked you to do. And I was like, but that's hard. That's hard. That's like all of my boss chick, all of my boss vibes. You're going to put me back into my childhood bedroom. And my parents' house is very modest. It's very 70s. It's very, it's everything, I was born here. I lived here, all of the things. So very grateful. But when God told me that, I was like, ugh, fought very, very hard. Fought very, very hard. Even when I told him yes. Even when I had put in my 2 weeks notice. Even when I had started packing up. He allowed. And let me tell you something about God allowing. A lot of times y'all think God is just out there just ruining y'all life, And it's not him. It's not him. What he does, it doesn't ruin. It teaches, it grows. So he allowed my house to be broken into while I was there. Very terrifying experience. Found out there was some neighborhood kids that was just breaking into houses. But I was there. They didn't think I was there. But I was. And I was like, God, I was going anyway. Why are you tripping? Why did you allow this? I said I was going. I got my 2 weeks in. Like, what are you doing? And even in that, when I told when I called in for work and was like, I can't come in because I had the realtor that I bought my house from. He also did volunteer work at a men's shelter, and me and him was talking about the house and all that sort of thing. He's so great. I can't even remember his name, but God bless him and his family. But he was talking about, I could help get that door fixed for you because it was just plywood that my neighbor had put on to close it. So he's, I got a guy that can help. I was like, oh my gosh, great. So not only was the guy helping me, but I was actually sewing into him as well, with just giving him a job. And he was the sweetest guy. I don't remember his name either, but God bless him too. But he was the sweetest guy. So anyway, that day I had to take off work because I had to go get him. He didn't have a car. I had to go get him, and I, hung out with him, gave him, a meal or two. So, that's the sort. I had lots of time at work. I had put in my 2 weeks notice, but I had so much PTO time because I never took time off work. I liked my job. It was exciting. I liked it. It was cool. I felt like I was somebody. So I never took time off from work. So when I called in and said, I got, I need to take a PTO day, I didn't think it was going to be no big deal. Then I came back. She was like, you can't take a day with your 2 weeks notice. And I said, but I got all these days. And she was like, well, we can't pay you for your PTO day. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave today because I see y'all don't value me. And that woke me up to like corporate, to like jobs, to like careers. Like they don't care nothing about you. And whenever you work, it's really not about your company or the people that you work for. It's about you completing your assignment there. It's about you learning there. It's about, I took a job for like $6.25 to be a receptionist at a children's salon because that's what I wanted to do. She wasn't even hiring. It's one of the worst jobs I ever worked for when it comes to like my boss. But she had horrible boss tendencies, leadership qualities. But her establishment was bomb, and I always wanted that. And so I said, let me go in and work, under her. So I could learn the tricks of the trade. And see, that's the thing when we go in to work for people. If that is your thing, then you're there to pour into others. You're there to uplift others. You're there to network. You're there to build. You're not there so that your boss and your company can make you feel good. You're not there because they're providing for you. God is our provider. You're not there for those reasons, but you're there because of what you bring to the company. So always keep that in mind. And that will help you not get so frustrated with a lot of things that's going on in the companies that we work for. So that's just a sidebar. So let us get back to our desires. I did not desire to come and live back with my parents, but I desired to be in God's will. And that was his will. And fast forward years, 2022. He was taking me to another level. Mom got sick. I became a full-time caregiver. Even before that, God told me I would never work a job. And I was like, but this one last one, so I can get da 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 da. Oh wait, but this one is really good and it could really help me in my servitude, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and work this one. I did that for like 2-3 jobs. Yeah, 2 or 3 jobs. After I left the children's home, I was not supposed to work again for anybody else. But I did not obey. And I did. I worked for other people. It wasn't a horrible experience or anything. I didn't get punished for it. He knew. God knows. God knows what you're going to choose before you even choose it. So, anyway, so my desire was to be in his will. Still, that is my desire. In 2022, got tested. Not like tested, but like went through a lot of tests to really burn off some things. I had to sacrifice a lot, kill and burn. I had to sacrifice a whole lot. Let me say that one more time. A whole lot. So, it's funny because I just pieced together probably about a week ago. God told me in 2008 to move back in my parents so I could help my parents. And I'm like, how am I helping them? Like, my mom was great. My dad had just retired or something. They was doing their thing. My mom was, bopping throughout the city like she does. She's a very extroverted person. And so she was still working and vibrant and, church things and all of the things. Servitude. My mom's the biggest giver that I know. One of the biggest givers that I know. So she taught me how to give and serve and all of the things. So I said, what am I supposed to give to them? So I thought I was supposed to come back and be a great, huge entrepreneur and be making 6, 7, 8 figures and move out of their house and pay for their house and move them to where they want to be and blah, blah, blah. I thought it was all about finances. Didn't realize until about a week ago that I was moved in 2008 for this. And it's like, why did it take so long? Because I had to nurture relationships. I had to heal some things from my childhood. I had to become aware of some things from my childhood. Once I became aware, I had to go through the healing process, especially with relationships and especially with myself and how I view things and my perception of people's behavior. The reason that I even cared what people thought about me, the reason why I even cared, the reason why I was even people pleasing still at 29, 28. At 30, it was no more people pleasing though. We'll talk about that later. But I was sacrificing, I was killing, I was burning. I was burning my perceptions. I was burning what I thought, who I thought I was, because I put who I was into money, how much money I was making, how big of a boss I was, how many businesses I had going, all of the things, and had to heal from that and had to recover. Oh, we don't think about that, do we? We don't think about that. Healing is recovering. And then sometimes healing is adjusting, right? Especially when it comes to our mental healing, and our emotional healing. We have to bounce back, not so much to who we were previous to the healing of hurt, but who we were when we were put here on earth. Remembering how that child was before the child was tainted, before the child had trauma. Who was that vibrant child? And so we had to remember that, and we recover to that. Then sometimes it's like, who is that child? I may not can recover yet to that child, but I can adjust, right? I can adjust to how I feel. I can adjust to how I think about things. I can adjust to how I see people. I don't see people as their behavior anymore. There's two different entities. It's the person and it's the person's behavior. So it covers me because I'm not saying, oh my gosh, what have I done to make this person behave this way? Or why is that person acting like that? Or why, oh, she just angry. She's an angry lady. No, 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 no. She may have, showed anger or displayed anger, but she's not an angry lady. That's just her behavior. And so when I hear parents say that child is bad, no, 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 no. That child may be hurt. That child may be confused. That child may be dealing with some things that they cannot articulate, but the child is not bad. The behavior may be bad, but the child isn't. There's still hope for that child, but that's another podcast for another day. So we're healing, and then we have to recover. We have to kill and we have to burn. We're still sacrificing, right? I had to kill and I had to burn that negative pride. I had to kill and I had to burn the essence of money and monetary things. I had to kill and I had to burn the control issues that I had, the negative control issues. I felt like the only thing that I could control was money. And so I controlled it very well. I was able to make money. I could tell you about 10, 20 ways that you can make money right now. But that's not what this is about. But that's what I grasp onto, because I could control it. I could control my money. I could control when my bills got paid. I could control all of that. So I thought, God said, you were never in control. Stop it. Stop it. You were never in control. You thought you were. And I allowed things to happen. I allowed you to have opportunities. I allowed doors to be open, but you were never in control. And so I said, okay, I get it. 2022 was hard. It's very difficult, very challenging, but it was very rewarding. And I see it coming, and I see the things that I had to go through to get to where I'm going. And that's what I sacrificed. I sacrificed my control. I sacrificed money. I sacrificed my will so that I could get the will of God, so that I could learn to trust, and not only trust, but obey, and do it in all things, not just the big outlandish things, but do it in all things, so that I could complete these assignments, so that I could fulfill purpose, so that I could get God's light and God's love to so many people. So, lovies, we're healing together. And so ask yourself, one, this is your homework. This is your life work, right? This is your emotional work. This is your mental work. So your life work today is go ask yourself, what do you desire? And then go and write that down, because writing is very essential, because it gets it out of here and gets it on paper. It gets it out of here so this can be clear to think about other things, and it gets it on paper so you can go back and read it, right? Paper, computer, or whatever you want to do. Write it down, type it out. Your desires, your burning desires, not what you want. Because your wants are going to be on there, but you have to separate your wants from your desires. What is my desires? What are my desires for my life? And so write those things down, and then write what you're willing to sacrifice. The things that you already know, lovey, what you're supposed to be getting rid of, what you're supposed to be killing and burning. That relationship that has not served you 1 ounce in 5 years, kill it and burn it. Let it go. What does that look like, killing and burning a relationship? Blocking and deleting. Yep. Blocking and deleting. Not answering. Put that number on the do not disturb, do not call list. Yeah, technology is wonderful. All right. So yeah, kill and burn. That person is no longer an option for you. If that person was paying your bills, honey, you need to find another way to pay your bills. Okay? If that person was giving you a comforting feeling because they affirmed you, right? But they did not help you grow. They wanted you to stay where you are because if you grew, then they would have to grow. Or if you grew, they knew that you would leave because they're not good for you. Yeah. The enemy of righteous is good, right? So they may affirm you, they may make you feel good, but are they right? Are they right for you? Are they right for where you're going? Are they right for this particular season in life? Last season, they may have been right, but this season, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Like they irritate you. They bother you. Every time they breathe, it's like, why are you breathing so loud? My goodness, get your life under control. All of the things. So you know the things that you're supposed to burn, to kill and burn. You know? That job, honey, you're supposed to kill and burn that a long time ago. Right now, I'm on somebody's do not hire list. Not because I showed out. Because when I told them that I was leaving now at that job that I had for 7 years, 6 or 7 years, faithfully, I don't think I missed a day. I came when I was sick. I came when it was stormy and icy and all of the things. I came to work, barely took vacation. But when I told them, well, I'm not going to work my 2 weeks because obviously, if you're not going to pay me what you owe me, then I'm not going to give you anything else of me. So I'm leaving today. She said, I'm going to have to put you on our do not hire list. And I said, that's cool. Do what you got to do because I got to do what I got to do. And it burned. I killed it and burned that. I killed and burned that job. And I tried to go back and that helper did put me on the hire list. I love her though. With the love of the Lord. I don't even remember her name. I know she was redhead. But she put me on do not hire list. And that's cool because if I would have got hired through a temp agency is when I was trying to go back through a temp. And so the temp was like, I don't know, Miss Core, they said that you're not eligible for hire. I was like, yeah, I know. I was just testing it to see if she really did. She really followed through. And so, had I been hired through the temp, I might have worked another 10 years for them people. I like banking. I like the office setting. I liked it. And then I probably would have prolonged the things that I was supposed to be doing for the things that I wanted to do. And the only reason I wanted to do it is because the checks were amazing. They were consistent. Right? Anywho, so your life work. Figure out your desires, right? What do you desire from your heart? From the core of who you are, what do you desire? Right? Then I want you to figure out, what are you willing to sacrifice? I asked this question on like TikTok, and somebody said, I'm not willing to sacrifice anything. And in my mind, I was like, okay, sweetie. Because it's your life. It's your life. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you, you need to do this and you need to do this in order to get that. No. I just give you little tips. I give you little nuggets from my healing journey, and it's up to you what you want to do with them, right? So she said, I'm not willing to sacrifice anything. And so I said, okay. All right, well, as far as my experience is, you'll be in that same place till you're ready. And if Lovey, if you want to move up, if you want to move forward, if you want to move to higher heights and deeper depths of who you are and what are you here for, and you want to find that purpose and you want to fulfill that gap that you want to fulfill the longing that you've had, and you want to clear up confusion and get some clarity about what you're doing in life, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. Yeah. Some habits. So really define those things and write them down, and then read them over and over again and see what you want to do and see what your next step is going to be. Is it going to be giving up that relationship? Is it going to be killing and burning it? Is it going to be killing and burning the habits that you have that are making you unhealthy? I have had unhealthy habits, and I had to kill and burn them. Yeah. Note to self right now. Like I get healing nuggets as I'm talking to y'all. That's why we're healing together. Heal with me, please. But even if you don't, I'm still going to be healing, because everybody's timing is not my timing, and I understand that. But I do want to share my journey with you guys, and I do want to share my experience, and whatever I learn, I'm going to give it to you guys to see if it could help. If it can't, cool. If it does, amazing. If it can't help you, share it with somebody else. It may help somebody else. So, lovies, that is the end of our episode 1 of Heal With Me with L.Marie. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Always remember that you are enough. Always remember that you can do better because you want to do better, not because somebody else said you need to. Always remember everything in life is a choice, but you always have to deal with the consequences, whether they're good, whether they're bad. All right? Make sure you share with me your if you want to be vulnerable. If you want to be vulnerable, you can definitely share with me your life work from this particular episode. Episode 1. Oh my gosh, episode 1. So you can definitely share your life work with this episode with me. L.Marie'splace@gmail.com. That's a great way to reach me. L.Marie's Place on social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm on Pinterest too, but we figuring that out. So yeah. Yay, I'm excited. I'm excited about our first episode. All right, lovies. I love you guys. Live well and heal. Toodles.